coaches. Offensive rebound, shot lane, she was set up by Carter.
They said Chennedy Carter was unstoppably rising star with swagger, skill, and a killer instinct that made her the talk of the WNBA. But in a league where headlines change overnight and loyalty lasts only as long as your last game, no one is safe. And now, after a series of controversies, emotional interviews, and whispers behind the scenes, fans everywhere are asking the question that no athlete ever wants to hear. Is this the end for Chennedy Carter? The cameras catch every moment, but they never capture the whole truth. What really happened in the locker room after that viral altercation? Why are so many teammates and coaches suddenly silent, refusing to answer questions about Carter's role on the team? The rumors are flying faster than a fast breaks. Some say she's headed for redemption. Others claim she's already played her last game. One thing's for sure, emotions are running high. And everyone in the WNBA is watching to see what happens next. In the next few minutes, we're diving deep into the heart of the storm. You'll hear the real stories from teammates, coaches, and fans, plus shocking twists you never saw coming. Is Chennedy Carter's career really over? Or is she about to pull off the greatest comeback in WNBA history? Get ready for explosive revelations, emotional confessions, and the kind of drama that keeps basketball fans glued to their screens. This isn't just a story about one play, it's about the pressure, passion, and politics of the WNBA, and what it really takes to survive at the top. When Chennedy Carter first set foot on a WNBA court, everyone could feel the energy shift. She was lightning in sneakers, quick, unpredictable, and impossible to ignore. Fans fell in love with her crossover, her fearlessness, and the way she seemed to light up every game, even when the odds were against her. Her rookie year wasn't just impressive, it was electric. Commentators called her the future of the league, and kids started copying her moves on playgrounds across the country. But for every highlight reel moment, there were whispers. Coaches noticed her fiery attitude, a double-edged sword. Teammates respected her game, but sometimes struggled with her intensity. She wants to win so badly, one said. Sometimes it's like she burns too hot for everyone else. Chennedy brushed off the noise, saying, "That's just who I am. I'm here to compete. I'm not here to be anyone's favorite." As her second season started, expectations soared. The media hyped her up as the savior of her franchise, a one-woman turnaround. Brands came calling, offering endorsements, magazine covers, and all the attention that comes with being a sports star. But behind the scenes, not everything was as perfect as it seemed. A few veterans on the team privately wondered if the
Carter, the quick move
if the spotlight was getting to her head. One assistant coach said quietly, "She's got the talent, but she needs to learn it's not just about her. Basketball is family. If you're not with your team, you're alone." The pressure was building. It wasn't just about playing anymore, it was about living up to the hype, staying on top, and keeping her emotions in check every night. Every missed shot was scrutinized. Every scowl at a teammate was magnified. And when her team started a losing streak, the criticism grew louder. Some fans stayed loyal, but others turned quick to blame her for every defeat. Is she a superstar or just another diva? Read one brutal headline. Chennedy didn't respond, but her next game was one of the best of her career: 30 points, 7 assists, and a win that silenced her doubters, at least for a night. Then came the moment that changed everything. A heated game against a top rival, emotions running high, and the score tied with seconds to go. Chennedy took the final shot and missed. As the buzzer sounded, cameras caught her slamming her fist on the scorer's table, her face a mix of anger and heartbreak. A teammate reached out to comfort her, but Chennedy pulled away, muttering under her breath. What happened next wasn't visible on TV, but according to those who were there, voices were raised in the locker room. Harsh words were exchanged, and the mood was tense long after the arena had emptied out. The media, hungry for drama, pounced. Reports surfaced of a locker room meltdown, with anonymous sources claiming Chennedy had confronted a teammate and stormed out. Overnight, the story took on a life of its own. Some outlets painted her as a passionate competitor who cared too much. Others called her a problem, a distraction, and the reason for her team's struggles. Fans split into camps. Tag team Chennedy trended, but so did hashtag trade drama. Through it all, Chennedy stayed mostly silent. She posted cryptic messages on social media, hinting at betrayal and loyalty, but never naming names. Her coach, caught in the middle, tried to calm things down. "Chennedy's a great player and a competitor," she told reporters. "Sometimes passion spills."
Was it Chennedy Carter playing this game?
Coaches
spills over. "But we're a team, and we handle things in-house." But the whispers didn't die down. At the next practice, cameras spotted Chennedy working alone, away from the rest of the squad. Teammates avoided reporters, and the usual pre-game banter was gone. Something had changed, and everyone knew it. Then came a new twist. Began to surface that management was considering suspending Chennedy for conduct detrimental to the team. Insiders debated whether it was a real possibility or just a scare tactic to get her back in line. Fans argued online, was the league treating Chennedy too harshly, or was she bringing it on herself? The pressure on the franchise grew, and every decision felt like it could make or break not just Chennedy's season, but her whole career. The story was out of control. National sports shows started picking it up, with former players weighing in. "She's got the fire, but she's got to channel it," one legend said. "She doesn't, she'll be out of the league before she knows it." But others defended her, pointing to the double standard faced by young, outspoken female athletes. "If this was the NBA, we'd call her a leader, not a problem." A popular analyst argued, as the controversy raged, Chennedy made her own move. She requested a meeting with team management, insisting she wanted to clear the air and get back to playing basketball. Behind closed doors, sources say the conversation was tense but honest. Chennedy admitted her emotions got the best of her, but also challenged the team to support her instead of singling her out. What happened in that meeting? Nobody knows the full story. But by the end of the week, the team announced that Chennedy would sit out the next 2 games for personal reasons. Fans read between the lines. Was she suspended? Or was this a break to cool off and reset? Either way, everyone wanted to know, what would Chennedy do next? And could her WNBA career survive the storm that was just beginning to break? As Chennedy Carter sat out those 2 games, the silence was louder than any arena. Everywhere she turned her phone, her social feeds, even the grocery store, someone had an opinion. Fans posted old highlights with "come back stronger" messages, but the trolls were just as loud, saying maybe she'd never play at this level again. Chennedy scrolled through it all, her face unreadable, her mind racing with what-ifs and regrets. Her teammates did their best to keep things normal, but the locker room felt emptier. Practice was quieter. The team lost both games she missed, and every reporter in town pointed out the obvious. Say what you want, but this squad just isn't the same without Chennedy. Coaches fielded the same questions on repeat. Is she coming back? Can you win without her? But nobody had a straight answer. Behind the scenes, the franchise was in turmoil. Higher-ups worried about their investment, debating if Chennedy was worth the drama. Some sponsors paused their campaigns, waiting to see what would happen. The league office even called, quietly reminding everyone that the WNBA is as much about image as it is about talent. A single misstep. 1. More viral controversy, and the damage could be permanent. Chennedy tried to stay focused, but it was impossible to escape the noise. She met with a trusted mentor, a retired star who'd survived her own share of scandals. Over coffee, the mentor didn't sugarcoat it. "Talent keeps you in the league, but attitude keeps you in the game," she said. "If you want a future here, you need to decide who you are on and off the court. The words stuck with Chennedy. That night, she watched old interviews of herself, back when the league was new and hope was endless. She saw the fire in her eyes, but also the joy, the love of the game that had gotten buried under the weight of expectations. When did I stop having fun? She wondered. When did basketball turn into war? Her agent called with more sobering news. There are teams asking questions, but nobody's making offers right now. You need to fix this before the draft. Sponsors are watching. The league is watching. You don't get many second chances, Chennedy. You've got to want this more than you want to win an argument. Meanwhile, the sports world wouldn't let the story go. One podcast released a deep dive episode on her entire career, from her high school highlights to her college stardom to every misstep in the pros. Is Chennedy Carter misunderstood or her own worst enemy? They asked. Fans called in with their own stories, some sharing how she'd inspired them, others venting frustration at what they saw as wasted talent. But the tide started to turn when a former teammate spoke up publicly. She's got heart, the player told reporters. Maybe too much sometimes, but this league is tough. I'd rather have a teammate who cares too much than one who doesn't care at all. The comment went viral, and for the first time, people started to question the narrative. Was Chennedy just another diva, or was she a passionate competitor trapped in a system that didn't know how to handle her? As the debate raged, another controversy hit this time, not of Chennedy's making. Video surfaced of a different WNBA player in a heated argument with her own coach. But instead of backlash, fans rallied around her, calling her fiery and a real leader. Chennedy saw the double standard playing out in real time. Why is it different when it's me? She asked her mentor. The mentor just smiled sadly. You're a lightning rod. That's the blessing and the curse. As the days passed, Chennedy started working out again quietly, at first at a private gym with no cameras, no audience, just the sound of the ball and her own thoughts. She poured all her frustration into the workouts, determined to come back stronger, smarter, and more in control. I'm not done yet, she told herself over and over. I'm not going out like this. Her coach reached out, offering an olive branch. Whenever you're ready, the team wants you back, but it's got to be as a leader, not a distraction. Chennedy took a deep breath. Leadership wasn't just about points and highlight reels. It was about trust, communication, and lifting everyone up, not just yourself. For the first time, she saw her career not as a solo journey, but as something bigger, something she could still shape if she was willing to grow. The league office sent one final warning. Your next move is everything. Show us your more than just a headline. The message was clear. She'd been given another shot. But the clock was ticking. With her return to the team announced, fans braced for the next chapter. Would Chennedy embrace the challenge and prove everyone wrong? Or would the drama follow her forever? One thing was certain. The next game would be the most important of her life. And the whole world would be watching. The night of Chennedy Carter's return, the arena was packed and buzzing with a nervous energy. Fans wore her jersey, some in solidarity, others out of curiosity, all wondering the same thing: would she rise or fall under the spotlight? Cameras hovered over every pregame handshake. Analysts debated whether the drama would overshadow her game. And teammates exchanged glances, their trust fragile but hopeful. Chennedy tried to drown out the noise. As she laced her sneakers, she whispered a promise to herself. Play for the love. Play for the team. Let them see you, not the drama. Her coach patted her on the back, a silent signal that this was her shot to reclaim not just her spot, but her reputation. The game tipped off with electricity in the air. Every time Chennedy touched the ball, the crowd erupted cheers, mixing with murmurs. She started slow, cautious, passing more than shooting, trying to fit in rather than take over. But midway through the second quarter, with her team down by 8, something shifted. The opponent's defense collapsed, and Chennedy saw her lane. She drove hard to the basket, took the foul, and finished the play with an impossible layup. The crowd roared, and for the first time in weeks, her smile was real. Her teammates rallied around her, sieving, shouting encouragement. The energy spread. By halftime, the team had closed the gap, and Chennedy had quietly racked up points, assists, and even a few steals. The broadcast team couldn't stop talking about her focus, her discipline, her new attitude. And everyone was convinced. Social media buzzed with skeptics. Is this just one good game, or has she really changed? In the locker room, Chennedy addressed her teammates. "I know I haven't always been the easiest person to play with," she admitted, voice shaking. "But I want you to know I'm here for all of you. Whatever happens out there, I'm riding with this team." It wasn't scripted, and it wasn't perfect, but it was real. The team huddled, tighter than they had all season. The second half was a war. Chennedy played like she had something to prove, but she didn't force it. Every drive was smart, every pass calculated, every defensive switch locked in. With 2 minutes left, the game was tied. The coach called timeout, drawing up a play not for Chennedy, but for another teammate. She nodded, unselfish, then set a crushing screen to clear the lane. The bucket went in, and the team took the lead. The opponent answered with a 3. And now, with seconds left, Chennedy found herself with the ball. The crowd was on its feet, the world watching. She could have gone for the glory, but instead, she drove and kicked it out to a wide-open shooter who drained the game-winning shot as the buzzer sounded. The bench exploded. Teammates mobbed Chennedy first, hugging her, shouting, "That's how we do it." For the first time, her leadership was unquestioned. The post-game interviewers rushed her, asking what had changed. Chennedy took a deep breath. "I realized I can't win by myself," she said. "This is a team game. I'm grateful to be back." As the highlights looped online, the reaction was swift. Some critics admitted she'd grown. "She's matured." Right before our eyes, a veteran broadcaster said. Others still weren't sure, waiting to see if this new Chennedy was here to stay. But for one night at least, she had silenced her doubters. The league office called the next morning, congratulating her coach and reminding everyone that character matters as much as talent. Brands who'd pressed pause on endorsements reached out again, tentatively offering to renew deals. Her agent texted, "Keep it up, and you'll have more offers than ever." Behind the scenes, it wasn't all perfect. Chennedy knew the pressure wouldn't go away. There were still tense moments in practice, old wounds that needed healing, and plenty of critics who would never be satisfied. But she was different, now focused, humble, and determined to build real trust. One day at a time. Off the court, her mentor's words echoed. The comeback is never about the scoreboard. It's about who you become when no one's watching. Chennedy began volunteering at youth clinics, sharing her story with the next generation. "Messed up," she told one group. "But you get another chance every day. Don't waste it." As the season rolled on, her team made a run for the playoffs. Every big win brought new headlines. Chennedy Carter, redemption in motion. Every close loss was another test of her resilience. But through it all, she kept showing up, kept putting the team first, kept fighting for the dream that started when she was just a kid with a ball and a vision. Still, the question lingered: was this a comeback for the ages, or just a brief spark before the next controversy? As the playoffs approached, everyone in the WNBA world was watching, waiting for the answer. Knowing that in sports and in life, the story is never really over, as the final buzzer sounds on Chennedy Carter's wildest season yet. One thing is clear: her journey isn't just about basketball. It's about falling down, getting back up, and showing the world that growth is messier, harder, and more inspiring than any highlight reel. Her future in the WNBA is still unwritten, And whether she rises to legendary status or faces new challenges, her story has already left a mark on every fan who's ever wondered. What happens when your back is against the wall? But now the question is in your hands. Did Chennedy really silence her doubters? Or is the pressure just beginning? Has the league finally embraced her fire? Or are new tests waiting in the shadows? Are you rooting for her redemption? Nor do you still think her best days are behind? Her fans are shocked, emotions are running high, and the basketball world is still divided, so we want to hear from you. If you've followed every twist and turn from the locker room, drama to the comeback, drop your opinion in the comments below. Do you think Chennedy Carter will become a WNBA superstar? Or will the spotlight keep burning her out? Who? Do you blame for all the controversy the player, the league, or just the media hype machine? Don't forget to smash that like button if you believe in second chances. Subscribe for more real stories and exclusive inside drama. And turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Because in the world of pro basketball, the next headline is always just one play away on. We'll be right here to break it all down. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep rooting for the real comeback stories.